A young photographer from Ontario is on the road trip with an ambitious goal to discover what being Canadian means to people who live across the country. Corbin Smith is capturing their stories with a tape recorder and a unique portrait camera. He started planning the project 2 years ago when he was 19. Now his travels brought him north of 60. The CBC's Catherine Piggott caught up with him in Yellowknife.
You've got to be outgoing and curious to do this. By the time he's finished his 5-month journey, Corbin Smith will have convinced hundreds of Canadians to reveal themselves and pose for him.
First off, a great conversation piece if I take it out anywhere that people want to know what the heck I'm doing.
Corbin's subject for the afternoon is Rita Brown, a glass artist. She heard about Corbin's project from her daughter.
Hey, just introduce yourself for me. Just say whatever you need to say.
Okay, hi, I'm Rita Brown. I was born in Saskatchewan.
It takes time for Corbin to get to know his subjects, anywhere from 10 minutes to 10 hours.
And being that I'm retired and I'm able to show Corbin a little bit of what we here in the North have to offer for other Canadians, I just wanted him to have a feel of that, and I wanted to meet him. He sounds like a very interesting man, and it looks like a very interesting project. And as I said, I'm retired now, and if his girlfriend doesn't mind, I could tag along.
It's not by any means any kind of a high-tech zoom lens where I can be 2 feet away and have a good shot, or 200 feet away and have a good shot. I have to get typically at least 50 feet at the very, very least back from my subject that I'm taking. I mean, for one example, I was taking a shot of these people on a farm. And in order to do this with this camera, I had to get about 3 kilometers back from the farm just to see the farmhouse, and then the barn, and then when the horses stable were, and then the tractors. And then they had to drive out in their car all the way down this dirt road to get about that 50, 100 feet in front of me. So it really forces me to acknowledge and to look and to take in the atmosphere and the environment in which people live. The plan was to kind of go up.
For 2 years, Corbin Smith has imagined and fundraised for this multimedia project. He calls it a map of Canadian. He has driven across Canada, north through British Columbia, and up the Dempster to Whitehorse, Dawson City, and Inuvik.
And then before I basically even got there, there was a gentleman who did flight tours that said, this is an awesome project. If you want to go to Tuktoyaktuk, I would be more than happy to take you as part of a donation to your project. I think it's something that's important that should be done.
Corbin finds his subjects through websites and word of mouth. It started in rural New Brunswick.
I met one person that I came from my hometown, actually used to be my babysitter. I met with her, met her husband that she recently married. They said, meet this other woman that's an RCMP officer in the North. She said, oh, you got to talk to this other guy. And the chain reaction could go forever. Now people are starting to invite me to their hometowns, to their communities, or I've got a couple of emails that have been along the lines of, hey, why haven't you visited Grand Prairie? Like, your map doesn't even go there. I can't believe you skipped it. And I have to email, well, I'm still in the progress, so if you want me to come, I'd be more than happy to.
Corbin left Ontario in April. He works 7 days a week. He's trying to find sponsors in the middle of the worst economic downturn in decades. No one wants to fly him to Igloolik for free. But he's amazed at what he's seen.
There's been so many wonderful experiences. I mean, grasping the grandness of the fires in the Yukon Territory as I drove through them, and having to be detoured because of highways being closed down and blocked, was incredibly interesting. And I mean, as far as the North was concerned, like getting to fly up to Tuktoyaktuk and camping just off the Beaufort Sea, I mean, and going swimming in the morning in the Arctic Ocean. I mean, things like learning the ins and outs of what a scallop fisherman does. To him, he thought that was so boring. To me, I was excited every moment of like him explaining, well, then we put these in the water and we do this and the next thing. I mean, I have learned so much just as an individual outside of looking at the culture of, or the ethnography of Canadians from coast to coast. Just the little bit of wisdom from people's jobs or their life experience has been like out of this world. That's something I'll keep with me forever, and hope I can share with the rest of the country, and maybe, if I'm lucky, the rest of the world.
Corbin Smith will spend the winter compiling the stories and photographs he's collected. They will become his university thesis, and he hopes, a book. Catherine Piggott, CBC News, Yellowknife.